I just fucking finished Elden Ring and it took me like 80 fucking hours, but I finally did it. And let me tell you, one of my favorite games I have ever fucking played. Like easily, it might even be like my favorite game I've ever played, to be honest. But like a lot of people, when I enjoy something that much, I feel the need to be an idiot and go see what other people think about it, or if they enjoyed it as much as I did, how they're feeling about it. So I can get angry and, fuck, I don't know, enjoy that whole process, I guess. Either way, I went ahead and did that, and a lot of the shit I saw was kind of stupid, and especially pertaining to, like, the conversations and how they were held, where, like, people would attack From Software, and then they'd attack, like, Ubisoft because they liked fucking Assassin's Creed or whatever. Pardon me, I don't need these. And just kind of go back and forth at each other's throats. It really kind of reminded me of that modern sort of politics discussion where one person's like, man, I kind of really believe this, and this is like something that I want done, and I like the president's ass for money online. What do you think about that? And the other guy's kind of like, fuck you! So I just kind of want to be the guy to step in and be like, let's just be civil about this whole conversation. I watched a few videos, read some articles, wrote down some of the shit that people were saying, right? That seemed to be the most poignant points, or poignant thing, whatever, fuck. The things that people were saying that occurred the most, or were like, the most heavy in weight to me. Sure, I don't fuck. My brain don't work too good no more, so I'm gonna try my best, but I can't guarantee it'll work out. Anyway. First and foremost, of course, this fucking conversation got brought back up. I don't know why it does with every game. People know what From Software's about. You know what the game's gonna be like. Don't fucking buy it then if you know you're not gonna like it. But whatever. Anyway, the game's too hard. There should be an easy mode. Very cut and dry, very short and simple. I don't believe that. I don't think that's a thing. But not for like the same reason that other people do, where they're like, fucking get good, pussy. Like, you just suck at the fucking game. Like, just try harder. It's like, okay, if you don't have the time to dedicate to get better, or remember the movesets of the boss and how they're telegraphed and all that kind of shit so you can be successful in the fight, don't buy the game. Because if you don't have the time to dedicate to whatever, like, I don't work a fucking 12-hour job. That's why I have the time to dedicate to this. I don't work a 12-hour job and then decide to take up fucking knitting, the slowest process of anything in the world, and try and become a master at it, and then complain to somebody else when I don't have enough time to dedicate to fucking knitting or crocheting, and I can't make my sweater in time for, like, what? I think that's a really shitty example, but my main problem with this is, like, just creative liberty, man. What happened to creative liberty where, like, the game studio or whatever media whatsoever, they don't have to make it to cater to every fucking audience. So it's like, if the game is too hard, then get a refund. You know, this is like their 7th game or some shit in like the same kind of basic line of games, you know what I mean? Like the very Dark Souls vibe, Demon Souls vibe. You know what it's gonna be. If you didn't like the past games, you probably won't like this one. And it doesn't mean that they need to include an easy mode to cater to you. That's some kind of weird sense of entitlement, and you need to shove your own head up your own ass, because that's where it belongs. Another thing I saw, which was like the dumbest argument I've ever seen, is that exploits equal bad game design. How the fuck does that make sense? Because you're able to run around and farm and over level, and that trivializes the boss fights. Apparently that's bad game design. It's a fucking open world. If anything, that just makes the game easier. There's your fucking easy mode, bro. Go farm for a bit, over level, and come back. But then it's too easy, it's not fun. Well, easy mode would be the same fucking thing. God, some people are just so fucking stupid. I swear to God. I said I was gonna be calm about this and be civil. Let's take a chill pill. Over leveling, that's your choice. If you want to trivialize the boss fights to make it easier for yourself, then that is on you. That is not bad game design. That is bad choice design by yourself and your higher faculties. Address that on your own time. Overpowered spells, yeah, magic definitely very overpowered in this game, at least as far as like the Common Azure spell, and especially the Sword of Night and Flame. That sword fucks, dude. I used it on some of the more difficult bosses in the end. Sue me. I'll be honest about it. I definitely did. And especially on Radagon, because that guy is a bitch. Not this Radagon, but Radagon of the Golden Order, fucking asshole. I hated that guy. I used the exploit where you run up to him at the beginning of the fight, and he doesn't fucking move or respond as long as you use 2 certain spells. And you know what? I don't give a shit. I did it, Got me past it. Didn't care. I had tried it like 50 times where I was like organically trying to beat him the way it was intended, and I couldn't fucking do it. So guess what? I chose easy mode on that one. Sue me. The next thing would be clunky game mechanics, poor response time on inputs. I don't really see that. I think it's from like the mechanics that they've always had, where like you do an input and you can queue up another one to happen after that to help. I think it used to like try and like alleviate the issue with like frame rate or something like that. I can't remember what the whole reason was for like that style of like game input, but it helped in the past games in some aspect or some capacity. Can't remember. But I think also the mechanic of it is to stop from like panic rolling or panic attacking and shit like that. It punishes you for doing that. That's a part of the difficulty of the game. If you think that's clunky, I think it's fair. I think it makes it so you're more purposeful and there's more intent behind what you're doing. It's kind of like a skill check in its own right in every single second of the game, and I think that's good game design in my opinion. Or maybe I'm just sucking From Software's cock. I don't know, dude. All I know is when I saw this game was coming out, I got more excited than a white girl at sorority party thinking about saying the N-word. That's all I know, dude. Okay. FromSoft want people to play the game, so they should include in easy mode so more people want to play it. Once again, creative liberties, dude. That's with the bold assumption that you understand and know what they're trying to accomplish with whatever game they're making. Maybe they don't give a fuck if everyone decides to buy the game. They're not Activision making Call of Duty where their sole objective is to gouge as much money from you as possible with pay-to-win skins like that fucking Ash skin or whatever the hell her name was, where she was complete black and people just sat in the corners and couldn't. That's a whole different fucking video, but dude, I don't think they're like, I mean, yes, they're a business at the end of the day. They need to make profit for the price of making the game, being able to pay people, their executives, their employees, whatever the fuck. But like the thing is, they're not trying to like maximize profits to the moon, I don't think. I think if it ends up happening because their games are quality and don't come out as broken pieces of shit, where they're like, oh, just wait 6 months, it'll be perfect. Like, that's, why we keep giving passes to game studios for that is fucking beyond me. The fact that people still buy Call of Duty just shows how many brain cells people have to work with to form their opinions on this game. It's insane to me that like that's even an argument. All right, Mr. NBA, like go fuck yourself. Go start your own game studio then and maximize your profits. Go throw in easy mode on your light souls, bro. I don't give a fuck. Just stop bitching relentlessly about whatever. Anyway, too similar to other Souls game. That's a valid argument, I guess. That's like one of the few ones that I've heard people make, is that it's too similar to other Souls games and that's why they didn't enjoy it. Okay, perfectly fine. If it was too close to other games and you didn't enjoy it because of that, that's, I mean, yes, it was similar to other games, but I think that was kind of part of the intent of this game, to be completely honest. I don't know. That's what I was looking for, and that's what I hoped for, and that's what we got. And I'm happy. It seemed like this game was really an amalgamation of everything they'd done with Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Sekiro, all kind of mashed together, and then improved upon as well with like the Ashes of War to change whatever weapon to whatever like elemental style or like sword art that you wanted. And really improved the customization of this game and made it furthermore so you don't have to go get this broken ass weapon. You could, I mean, essentially make any weapon kind of fucking broken, to be honest. Like that blood slash Ash of War, I put that on like a regular broadsword and was fucking everything right to left. Like it did not matter what it was, a boss, NPC. I was destroying anything, and all it cost was a little bit of my health to go away. But anyway, just to go back to that point, like yeah, it is similar to other Souls games, but I think that was the intent, and I'm happy that it was, because that's what I was looking for. And I'll be straight up, I didn't play a Dark Souls game until last December, and I've binged every single one since then. That is how obsessed I've been with this game series. And so like that kind of like, I guess, takes away from the points I'm making a little bit. It makes me just sound like even more of a dick rider, but I think it's also just being fair and like, oh well, whatever. The open world wasn't interesting enough. I think they weren't really trying to accomplish like what Assassin's Creed or Horizon Forbidden West are trying to accomplish with their open worlds, where it's like, here's all these NPC hubs, here's a quest to go grab a few berries, shut up your ass, show it to the person that told you to go do it, and then they give you 5 gold coins. I don't think that was like what they were trying to accomplish here. What I do think they were trying to accomplish was expanding the world, throwing in more random events, and honestly, with some of these secret areas and how fucking massive they are, I think it was really, I don't know anything about game design. I don't know if like they can totally separate shit or if it has to be on like the same plane or whatever, but to include some of these fucking massive optional parts of the game, it makes sense that they made it open world. And also just, I think it was also partly a game mechanic, so you could run off, do whatever, you could fuck off and do whatever you wanted, level up a bit, and then make things to where you're more capable to take care of it. If that's a part of the game design, I think they did a pretty good job on that, because they made it possible. And like all these other people that are bitching that like in the past games about it being too hard right from the get-go wherever you're at, I mean, you still had the option to do that, but you had to constantly reload and run through the same level. There's variation here. You can go to catacombs and fucking kill some random mini boss that gives you a new Ash of War, or just farm souls from that catacomb and then go to another one and that was completely different. Give or take on some of them. Some of them were kind of samey, but I never felt like it was a chore to do, I guess. But yeah, dude. And then also the only other complaint that I actually didn't write down on my little sheet of paper would be that the UI is bad. The user interface is bad. Why? Because there isn't a mini map with a million fucking little dots on it showing you, here's your new tutorial in case you want to use some of your gold points to buy a new cape, or here's a fetch quest for you to do in case the stupid main story isn't interesting enough. Here's a main base where you could go back and upgrade your different pieces of armor. Thanks. God forbid the game wants you to think a little bit or explore organically. Like, I love the fact that everything fucking disappears whenever you're not in a fight, and you can see what's going on in the world with all these fucking intrusive little points of interest markers, or like, it's clean, it's simple, and it's all it needs to be. It doesn't have to be anything more. The map doesn't have a million different markers on it. If you find something interesting, it's on you to place it, bro. You can still do that. But all these smooth brains out here forget that that's a fucking mechanic in the game, and whatever. I didn't even use it because I'm just so fucking smart. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do that many NPC quest lines. I don't know, but some are great, like Ronnie's, where you have to go down and knock Stella, the coolest area in the game, besides Volcano Manor, for sure. And it's completely fucking optional. Also, Volcano Manor is as well. I don't understand how they were able to make all these, like, well thought out, like, completely and totally separate and interesting optional areas. It blew me the fuck away. Especially Michaelis Haligtree with that cunt Melania. That is the hardest boss I've ever fought in any Souls game ever. Like, dude, it's nuts the amount of enemy variation, area variation, like points of interest, variation in setting, everything, dude. The creative minds behind this need to start going into like movies or writing books or whatever. Also, the only like really fair argument, or like completely universal one to all PC players, is the frame rate stuttering. I have a 2070 Super, not like absolutely top of the line anymore, but pretty solid graphics card, and I did experience stuttering, especially in the opening area against the Tree Sentinel. That was extremely frustrating, but I was also fighting him extremely underleveled, and it was just kind of fucking me while fighting him, that I couldn't really spare getting hit, and the frame rate was kind of screwing me a bit. Eventually I did beat him because I'm a persistent, stubborn fuck, and I didn't want to quit until I beat him. I don't know, that's like the one area, but it wasn't like game breaking either. There wasn't a whole lot of pop-ins or texture issues or anything like that. The game came out extremely polished, and I think a large reason why I celebrate this game like I do, right, is because it's not a Call of Duty. It's not a Battlefield 2042. It came out working like 98% like it should, besides the frame rate stuttering, and it was a well put together game that was interesting visually, story-wise, and with like all the different items. I don't know how they came up with so many different swords and armors, bro. Like, my little reward center was having an orgasm every 10 minutes because I just could not believe that I found another badass weapon. The only shame was I didn't have enough smithing stones, and I didn't want to dedicate the time to finding more to upgrade everything to like really get it to the point where it was viable, right? But I don't know, man. This game was like a solid 9.5 out of 10 for me. The stuttering is the only thing that really took away from it. If y'all kind of agree with me, let me know. Subscribe if you want. I'm gonna keep making videos. I don't really know what I'm gonna consistently make at this point, but maybe something more like this, as well as like my rage compilations. I'll throw some in at the end so you can click on them and go watch them if you're interested. But yeah, get good, pussy.